A major snowstorm continues to blast the Bluegrass State. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. We'll show you how much more will fall coming up.
It is not a good day to be on the roads. You'll hear from drivers frustrated by a snowy commute.
From Richmond to Corbin and across the state, we're tracking conditions as this winter storm slams our state.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
A massive winter storm continues to dump more snow on us. It's been about 17 years since we've seen this kind of snow this quickly.
About an hour ago, Governor Beshear declaring a statewide emergency because of this weather. Take a look. This is a live look now at conditions right here in Lexington. You can see that snow still coming down out there. It hasn't stopped really since early this morning. We have reporters out tracking conditions all around the area, but we begin with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris?
Yeah, I think I saw our hardy soul out there taking a run into that picture. But guys, incredible snowfall. We were setting the stage for this several days last week. Then the confidence started to really increase over the weekend that we were in for a major winter storm. And yesterday we put out a forecast that had the entire region anywhere from 6 to 16 inches of snow. We're going to wind up well into that range. Some areas may try to exceed that into southeastern Kentucky. 13 degrees Frankfort, Georgetown with snow that is still heavy into Georgetown. But you notice Frankfort's lightened up just a little bit. I'll show you that on Defender. Switched it over to sleet for a while in Corbin. Back to snow. Interstate 75, very, very treacherous. Now, Lexington, 11 degrees, colder than everybody else. Additional snowfall. Here's what is to come as we go through the evening. An additional 2, maybe 3 or 4 inches for the areas in blue. Eastern Kentucky, man, oh man, we've got 10, 12 inches of snow in some areas on the ground now. You may pick up 4, 5, 6. Maybe a little more than that over the next little bit. That's why I'm saying you could push deep into the mid to upper teens in terms of snowfall, 15, 16, 17 inches. Lighter amounts the farther west and northwest that we go. Winter storm warning continues in effect for the entire region as the intense snows now are getting ready to taper off for at least a little bit across parts of the Lexington metro. But another band of snow is lurking back across southern Indiana and western Kentucky. That's going to try to make its way on through here over the next few hours. May try to see this filling back in again. Already noticing it doing that here in the parts of northern Kentucky. But incredible snows, record-setting snows for much of central and eastern Kentucky. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is braving the elements in our snow garden out back. He joins us now. And Jim, those visibilities and the heavy snows, boy, every time I come back to you with this shot, it's still peppering down, buddy.
It is absolutely coming down, as it has been for much of the day. This is one of the most steady snows that I've seen, and I've been doing weather for a long time, out in eastern Kentucky for 12, 13 years, and then up here, certainly the most I've ever seen while being in Lexington and making numerous trips in the snow to come up here throughout the years of doing weather. Again, in eastern parts of Kentucky. Today, a very significant event as the snow continues to just absolutely come down here. Those bands of heavy snow that Chris keeps talking about. This is what it looks like, okay? And in some cases, visibility is even lower than what we're seeing here in Lexington, right behind the station right now. I mean, it just keeps on coming as it has throughout the entire day. Over the weekend, we were talking about this, Chris and I, and of course Micah and Mike, all back and forth on phone calls, text messages, trying to get the latest information together. And Chris kept saying, this is going to be a big deal. And sure enough, here we are. I mean, we're talking about a significant storm with the governor shutting down the state, basically calling a state of emergency. We are talking about some very critical conditions showing up all across central, eastern, western, northern, everywhere you look. 120 counties impacted by this storm, Chris.
Yeah, exactly right. And by the way, Jim, we've got our eye on you with our live sky cam as well. It kind of gives you the establishing shot to show you how hard it is snowing right now on the east side of Lexington. Now, when I come back in a few minutes, we're going to talk about the potential for sub-zero temperatures tonight in some areas. But, guys, I'll show you why that is not the biggest concern for the cold as the week goes by. We are talking the possibility of record-shattering temperatures when I come back in just less than 10 minutes as of now.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, it is no surprise that these snow-covered roads have caused many schools, including Fayette County, to cancel classes for tomorrow.
And with the snow still falling and extreme cold weather moving in, as Chris has told you later this week, it's going to take a while to get these roads clear. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is live in Lexington, where she talked to drivers already frustrated with driving in the snow. Kristen?
Sam, I'll be honest with you, we are some of those frustrated drivers ourselves. We got our live truck stuck. The problem is when you're dealing with all of these inches of snow, it's very hard to get traction, especially on these roads that haven't been touched by snow plows. We caught up with some drivers that were just as frustrated as us this afternoon.
They haven't done a lot. I've seen some salt trucks out, but it's not doing a whole lot.
Lexington police told us they helped more than 200 drivers dig out of the snow and get back on the roads.
Yesterday was really nice, a lot of sun, and now we got a lot of snow here now. That's what I say. It's crazy.
Streets and Roads Deputy Director Rob Allen says their crews aren't even salting streets at this time. They're solely focused on getting the snow that continues to fall off of it. They say lifting snow off the roads will help drivers, but of course they're still asking everyone to stay home if they can.
And it takes a little while to clear the roads. Probably takes about a day to enact the whole snow plan. So as I said, we'll keep on at it 12-hour shifts until we've got her licked.
And we really want to encourage everyone to take that warning very seriously. We've been driving around the Hamburg area all today, and I would say in the last hour we've seen about 3 cars that have gotten stuck, and individual drivers have come out to try and help them to shovel around their tires. We also saw 1 truck driving around helping other trucks get out of the snow over here. For now, we're live in Lexington. Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
All right, Kristen, be safe out there. About an hour ago, Mayor Jim Gray finished up a news conference updating the snow response here in Fayette County. All city offices in Lexington will be closed tomorrow. The mayor said there will also be no trash pickup tomorrow because road conditions just not safe for the trucks and their crews. The mayor says that plowing will continue throughout the night. He's asking for anyone who does not have to be on the roads to not go out, but he says he recognizes that some people will have to drive to work tomorrow.
We're not saying to those businesses that they should not be open. We are discouraging traffic at the routine and normal pace.
The city has responded to nearly 300 calls of drivers needing help today. The mayor also says that shelters for the homeless in Lexington are now operating on a 24-hour schedule. And we've got a crew driving around Lexington right now. Looks like we've got a police officer off to the side of the road. You can just look at this street condition right here and tell how difficult it is to not just walk across it, but to drive across it. And they're asking anyone, especially on the highways and interstates, by the way, to stay at least 500 feet behind the vehicle in front of you. So really give yourself a lot of space, Amber, when you're out there on the road so that you don't get into some kind of an accident.
Yeah, and there have also been 39 crashes, 5 of them involved injuries. Again, Lexington police asking drivers to try and get home if you can before dark and stay there.
Now to Richmond. Eastern Kentucky University will be closed tomorrow because of what's happening with all the snow.
Yeah, the roads there remain snow covered as well, and it's causing problems for drivers. WKYT's Victor Puente continues our First Alert Weather Team coverage with a look at conditions this afternoon.
Madison County has been hammered by this snow. It's kept a lot of drivers off the road. It's also sent a lot of drivers off the road. This was a common scene in Madison County today. Some drivers went into ditches, others couldn't navigate parking lots. I-75 became covered with a layer of snow, and it's not expected to go anywhere soon.
This is the worst I've seen it in probably 10 years, I would say.
Richmond and Berea police had their fair share of calls, but the Madison County Sheriff's Department says they only had about half a dozen actual wrecks. They say people were prepared for what this storm brought. One man who drove to work this morning told me he wasn't looking forward to his drive home.
I live about 18 miles up, so it's going to be real fun.
Madison County Sheriff's deputies tell us school being out, EKU closing, and people choosing to stay home played a part in the relatively low number of wrecks they worked today. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The Madison County Sheriff's Department and Berea Police gave healthcare workers a ride to work today using their Humvees. Now, a few communities have also declared a state of emergency because of the snow. Lincoln County is one of them. Crews there have been focusing on getting the main roads clear, which means many side roads are impassable. The Sheriff's Department is asking people to stay home, and it appears many of them listened.
Well, when I was coming to work this morning early, I passed maybe 4 or 5 cars. It appears that people are staying in, which I really appreciate. because I don't want to put any of my guys in danger having to go out here and work these accidents.
The Sheriff's Department has responded to several reports of cars sliding off the road. The sheriff says they have not had too many other problems, though. Well, this winter storm spared no part of Kentucky.
No, it did not. To our south, drivers had to deal with sleet on top of several inches of snow, if not more than that. WKYT Sean Moody continues our team coverage now from Corbin.
The Kentucky State Police asked people to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary, and it seems they've done just that. The people I've talked with out here today said they've either had to go to work or get to something else very important. I-75 was a mess from Lexington all the way down to Corbin. Kentucky State Police said they didn't work any major accidents, mainly just fender benders or people who'd slid off the road. Sometimes you could see that a plow had been through, but the snow just covered it right back up. Here in Corbin, there was light traffic. The road supervisor said his crews stayed hard at work.
And we're just going to scrape it off. We're going to try to keep up with it and scrape it off 2 or 3 inches at a time, get where people can travel, and just keep it safe, man. But we're going to be at it pretty much till about midnight, I guess.
At Love's Travel Stop just off the interstate, drivers welcomed a quick break.
Been driving about 7 hours now.
Ben Morgan's trying to drive from Indiana to Alabama after a family emergency. He says it's been a tough drive.
Lots of snow, sleet, and cars running off the road.
Now, for a couple of hours this afternoon, the snowflakes changed over to sleet, but since about 3 o'clock this afternoon, it's been steady snowflakes. In Corbin, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Several communities have opened up shelters to help people through the storm. We've mentioned Lexington and Bourbon County, two examples. Also, Moorhead will keep the Carl Perkins Center open tonight for anyone who needs that. The city's mayor reports about 10 inches have fallen so far there today.
And we can help you keep track of this winter storm even when you are away from your television. Just go to WKYT.com for the latest closings, forecasts, and weather headlines. Kentucky isn't suffering through extreme weather alone. We'll show you what people in the Northeast are dealing with. And our winter storm coverage continues on WKYT News at 5:30. Stick with us for more on what you need to know to protect your family during all this snow and cold.
Yeah, and once the snow finally ends, that may be later tonight, it's going to stick around for a long, long time. I'm tracking the potential for record-shattering cold in just a moment. Our winter storm rolls on across central and eastern Kentucky, and it's still got some more snow left in the tank as we go through the rest of the evening. Some of my latest thoughts now on where we go from here. That heavy snow this evening is going to continue, though it will slowly taper off from west to east. It's becoming at least a little lighter now into parts of central Kentucky. Anywhere from an inch central and far western parts of the area to as much as 8 inches eastern Kentucky into those higher mountains, a possibility over the next several hours. That's on top of what is out there. Those temperatures are down into the high single digits and low teens. It is still coming down here on Winchester Road. Currently 11 degrees in Lexington. We spent the better part of the day with temperatures right at 11 or 12 degrees with a wind that makes it feel like it is below zero as of now. So the kiddos going out and playing in the snow as of now or wanting to get out there, make sure you monitor them with temperatures that low and the wind chill going below zero. You don't want them to stay out there too long, although they're going to have the time of their lives in a lot of cases with this snow. Pets too, by the way, getting a lot of pictures of dogs out and enjoying the snow. Here we go with the additional totals through tonight, and the heaviest snow, central Kentucky, is starting to wind down a little bit. It doesn't mean we're completely done with the snow. We could pick up another inch, 2, local 3 or 4. Far eastern Kentucky, several more inches to go through into the next little bit. Like this view so much, I wanted to sneak in here twice on us. Winter storm warning is out for the entire state through tomorrow morning. That includes Lexington. It includes, obviously, all of eastern Kentucky, even into western Kentucky still dealing with this. Defender in motion. Here's a little bit of some drier air that is trying to make its way into parts of central Kentucky, but there's one more healthy little band of snow developing on the backside of our departing storm system that is now into southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and it's trying to connect with the stuff into southwestern and northern parts of the area. It's something we'll have to keep a close eye on as we go forward over the next couple of hours, because that at times you can get these little wraparound snows from a departing area of low pressure. If that's the case, we'll continue to see those snows flying for the better part of the next several hours. I think we're going to anyway. Heavy snow here. Morehead State University over toward Owingsville, Frenchburg, Menifee County, Morgan County. Folks down there telling me they've got 8, 9, 10 inches of snow already. Back edge of the first the first big band that is right on top of the area, at least catching a bit of a break into Versailles, into Frankfort, Lawrenceburg, and across parts of Mercer County. Lexington, we've got the steady stuff that is going to continue for another half hour, may take a bit of a break, but a few more flakes are trying to gear up the farther west and southwest that we go. Same thing here into Richmond, where we're pushing better than a foot of snow into many areas. Southern Kentucky had to fight a little bit of sleet early on, but it is southeastern Kentucky where the heavy snows continue to fall. I'll show you on Defender what I'm talking about in trying to get this band to connect with the other band that is coming out of Illinois and Indiana. Notice when you start to see the little gray spots here, that's some lighter snows, but that's also a sign that, okay, the system to the northwest of the system that is to the south is trying to talk to one another and trying to squeeze out some more snows in between. So your impact from this, travel goes without saying, snow goes without saying, cold, it's cold now, but it's going to get a whole lot colder. High impact winter storm, no matter how you slice it. 11 Lexington, wind chill at -3 degrees as of now. Feels like 0. Mount Sterling -1 showing up into northern Kentucky. Now, why am I so concerned about the cold going forward? We have a huge snowpack that is out there. We have an Arctic front coming in on Wednesday, which, by the way, that Arctic front may have winds around 30 miles per hour on Wednesday. So we have a powdery snow that is out there. You're going to throw 30, 35 mile an hour winds. Guess what's going to happen to all that snow? It's going to blow around like crazy, and we may try to throw another inch or 2 of snow down on Wednesday into parts of the region. How about a high temperature on Thursday of 5? The numbers, though, you're going to be looking at are on the bottom. 13 below, 12 below. That would be Thursday into Friday. I've got computer models that are actually telling me, Bailey, you're too warm with that. We'll see how it goes over the next couple of days. Got to clear those skies out. Could be another touch of some light snow as we make our way into the weekend. So no matter what you're looking at here, this is a very, very frigid time across the entire area. And bitter cold, record cold, flat out dangerous cold that is on the way over the next several days, guys.
You know, one of the big differences from past winters or months is you don't have a temperature in there that's going to melt this snow within a couple of days. It sounds like over a week you've got frigid weather.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the next week, I promise you, the snow that is on the ground right now, you're going to still be able to see it a week from now. All right? It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. You've got a foot of snow in a lot of cases out there. Even if you had 40-degree temperatures for a couple of days in there, you would still have snow on the ground a week from now. Now you throw -10, -15 air in there, it can get dangerous.
Serious. All right, Chris, thank you. Well, the winter weather is also hitting the northeast chart.
And we'll show you how a deep freeze is affecting that region of the country. Kentucky's not alone when it comes to this winter weather.
Wind chills hit -20 in the northeast overnight, freezing everything solid. Marley Hall is tracking the situation from New York.
Frigid temperatures turned a 3-story building into an ice castle in Philadelphia after firefighters turned their hoses on a blaze. In Boston, transit workers from all departments are pitching in to clear snow from the tracks.
Normal job, I work marketing.
The rails are buried in snow, along with just about everything else. Boston got another 16 inches over the weekend. That makes about 7 feet in 3 weeks.
This is the snowiest February in the history of Boston.
On Plum Island, Massachusetts, snow completely covered the entrance to a home. Residents made a tunnel to get out.
Here in New York's Bryant Park, it is so cold the fountain is frozen solid. Temperatures are not expected to rise above freezing all week.
Samantha Sandberg knows how to dress for the weather.
This is a fur hat. I have a fur scarf. I have 4 layers on underneath my 2-layer coat.
The South is also getting a powerful winter blast. From Mississippi to North Carolina, people are expecting snow, sleet, or freezing rain. Marley Hall, CBS News, New York.
And it is not getting much better. More snow is also headed to the northeast Tuesday. Flyers aren't having much better luck than drivers when it comes to travel. All of this evening's departures at Bluegrass Airport have been canceled. So far, about 7 arrivals have been canceled as well. If you have a flight tomorrow, you'll want to check its status before you head to the airport. Our coverage of Winter Storm continues on WKYT News at 5:30.
That's right. Stay with us for another check of the forecast and a look at conditions out there to the north as well.